It's no, it's, yeah. Whoever's a mod, they
Whoever
just
in
started.
first.
Yeah, it's not good, no
Yeah.
big deal.
Bar, what's up? How you doing?
Thanks everybody for joining. We're gonna get started soon. On the topics, definitely seeing some people in the room. I'm excited. I feel like the more that we talk about this, we get better and better at it. Hey Wayne, how's it going?
Splendid. I have no complaints. I'm just happy to be here tonight. I'm
All right,
excited.
awesome. So replays are on. People are set. Let me make sure my other two mods that they come in here. Give me 1 second. Guys, thanks so much. We're gonna get started.
Let me just say this. This is the first time that I'm recording this in an effort to stream it to get all the information that you need that would make it comfortable for you to be a part of this new wave of wealth building. I am on Clubhouse Live, and as you can see on the screen, it's called the NFTs Tips, NFTs, Crypto, and the Metaverse. Remember to subscribe to WayneTRichards.com. The first post about crypto is called the Wayne's Crypto Journey. I want you to read the blog and I want you to come along for the journey with me. And the goal is to make generational wealth based on your level of effort and commitment. And that's what we're going to do. So I want to say God bless you all. And here we go.
At least one person that doesn't know anything about any of these topics. So definitely feel free to tap in and look, hey, this is a place we can get all your questions answered. Every last one of them. So we're going to get started in 1 minute, 1 minute. Thanks so much for everyone that's joining. And hey, if you have questions, you already know it. This is definitely the space for you. All right, guys. So I'm going to get started. This is welcome to the NFTs, Crypto, and the Metaverse room. My name is Kamiyah like Papaya. I am one of your awesome hosts, and I'm going to give the mic over to Taco, Wayne, and Will to be able to introduce themselves. Disclaimer, this is a beginner's room, like I was saying. We're not going to be promoting anyone's project, but we are going to allow people that want that value, just want to help give any good value, any good advice to those that are new in the space. You can definitely come up on stage, and we'll definitely allow you to join the conversation. Definitely keep the questions and answers up to don't be long-winded, y'all. Like let's keep it about a minute. Any comments and remarks? Hey, Shorter, thanks so much for joining us. Let's just be respectful to each other. And again, like definitely you want to be mindful of what you say. So there's people in here that they don't know anything we're talking about. So if you're going to say a term, if you're going to start talking about smart contracts and blockchain, you need to define that. That's kind of the rule for this room that we were running. And it's just out of respect for those that are new as well. So I'm going to pass the mic to Taco and we'll get started. Thanks so much.
Hey, thanks, Kamiyah. Thanks for having me. Wayne, what's up? Will, what's up? Farrah, what's up? Shorter, what's up? How's everybody doing today? It's Thursday. I'm happy to be here. My name is Taco. I'm the voice of the youth over in Washington, D.C. I'm a brand strategist, a community manager, an interviewer, creative director, a stock and crypto trader on the NASDAQ. So if you have any questions, I'll be here listening, adding some value. We have some great mods tonight. I pray that you guys share the room to every beginner that you know who needs to get into this crypto space. And, let them ask their questions. If they've been nervous or y'all been back channeling, you don't know the answer, they don't know the answer, ping them in here, bring them through. I'm happy that everybody is here. I appreciate y'all for having me. And I'm Taco. Thanks for being here. Wayne, I'm going to pass it over to you.
Thank you very much, Taco. My name is Wayne Richards. I am a early investor in crypto, and basically the crypto sphere is what I call it, is early enough for all of us to get in and enjoy the benefits of a platform that is completely available to anybody that has the will, the finances, and the strategies to be successful. I write a blog now. I just started it a couple days ago called Wayne's Crypto Journey. And the goal of the blog is to help those who have no complete novices, no information, no know-how, ground floor opportunities to learn how to get into crypto by helping you to identify possible the benefits of being in crypto, helping to establish your accounts, your wallets, and everything else. It's going to be a weekly journey, sometimes even more info than that, to get people to come to a safe place, just like this room is, and help you to get established as a crypto investor, NFT investor. I also wrote a book called The Believer's Comprehensive Guide to Credit Repair. I spent 2 years doing research on the nuances of credit and how to utilize what is available to us. I'm not a proponent for people not to pay their bills, but let's use what is available to us to get ourselves in position to be able to create generational wealth. So that book, I'll put the link up later. I'll also put the link up for the blog. You can sign up and know anytime that we post. Kamiyah and I are working on a book titled, Kamiyah, what was the name of the book again?
Crypto for Christians.
Crypto for Christians, because I believe that we are some of the last people to take advantage of opportunities that are available. So we want to lay all your fears and help you to understand how it works, the benefits, the risk reward factors, timing. And not all of us are going to be able to make a couple $1 million overnight, but we can employ strategies that allows us to build that wealth. I'll post all the links so you can see where I'm coming from. And I just want to say God bless everybody tonight. I'm passing the mic to Will, I believe, right? Or Farah. I'm sorry.
Yeah, to Will. Go ahead, Will.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Thank you for having me. My name is Will. I'm a software developer, and also I created my NFT collection. It's called the Dolly Graham. Yeah, so I just got into this space about going on about 6 months, right? So for everybody here that's new, I just got a MetaMask and everything in about August. So I was new to everything too. I put a lot of time in as far as developing and learning the blockchain and Ethereum language, and just decided I was going to put out an NFT project. So what it is 10,000 NFTs, all randomly generated and everything. So pretty much like you would see, like with a lot of these major NFT collections on OpenSea. So I feel like with me, since I just got into it and I just started, I think I'm able to explain a lot of these concepts. Or if you have any questions, I can explain it to you in a way, coming from a new person. You know what I mean? So I don't want to overcomplicate anything. I'm going to keep it very simple for you, and I'll answer whatever questions you guys have, okay? So that's all.
Thanks so much, Will. Look, I'm going to pass the mic to Shorter. And then, again, if you have a pressing question, there's some things you just don't even understand about the space, definitely come up. I see some of the Ghetto Granny Club is already pulled up. Shout out to them. This is Will's project. I posted the link right here. Like, I got some grannies, Dolly Graham, Paige, Adrian Fillmore. Hey, B. Hey, everybody that showed up. We appreciate you. And we're going to talk about an interesting topic. So I'm going to let Shorter go ahead, and then I'm going to, ask my mods a question.
Hello, everybody. How are y'all doing? My name is Shorter. I work with NFT tips in several different rooms and several different projects that we got going on. I don't claim to be no expert at this Web3 cryptocurrency thing, but I got a pretty good rap on it. I come up with a lot of good strategies. I help people with the strategies that they're trying to do with their projects and help them understand the token part of the NFTs. I also do a lot of independent digital marketing, help people get the word out or do the awareness that's necessary for the marketing on an NFT, whether it be traditional 2.0 or in the 3.0 web space. But that's me in general.
Look, I really appreciate you being here. So this is a question I want to ask on my mind, because the topic of the room that we're kind of tackle tonight is transitioning into the Web3 space. So when I talk about transitioning into the Web3 space, we're talking about taking your current skill set and being able to now start working to create to work on NFT projects or help build blockchains, right? Or even be a part of Metaverse events. And I think that's where I want to bridge the gap, because there's some people we hear about these different things. You're new. If we can just I'm just gonna go through kind of all the content that we talked about. We talked about what is an NFT. We talked about what is crypto. We've outlined what is the metaverse, right? We talked about how to get your wallet, crypto security, and those things we're always gonna talk about. But I want to really ask all my mods one by one, and it's popcorn style for them, whatever. Hey, Dolly Graham. But I want to ask them, how are they transitioning their current skills, into Web3? Web 3.0 isn't completely rolled out, right? And for people that don't know, I'm going to give, a brief history of, the internet so you understand what I mean by Web3. So there's Web 1.0, then there's Web 2.0. So originally Web 1.0, basic internet. You had to dial up. Biggest thing from that, you had email. And then we get into Web 2.0, we see a lot of the newness of apps and social media. And the only thing that you could own on Web 2.0 was literally your domain. So even though we've had this whole decade or almost a decade and a half, almost 2 decades worth of amazing content, we have YouTube, we have Facebook, Instagram, all this awesome content. All the people that have created content up to this point, they don't even have ownership fully of their content outside of them having a website, and they don't own the hosting right, but they have to renew their domains. So a lot of these content creators, if you've seen in the past decade, there's been an issue because there's a lot of people that made so much good content but didn't get anything from it. It wasn't an automatic that because they created great content, they were going to get paid. It wasn't automatic that because they made a lot of content that they were going to get the time's worth. And so what's happening with Web3, with the creation of blockchain technology, cryptocurrency, NFTs, the metaverse is now that we can start actually have a piece of the internet. We can actually start owning a piece of the internet. We can actually, have ledgers and public ledgers at that you can go back and actually verify that you created this content, that you're responsible for this idea. I'm even seeing stuff where you can see there's even some blockchains coming out that I've been involved with, where you can even have your posts become an NFT, where your content, like rooms like this, it can be stored on the blockchain that we originally started this room. And why is that important? I mean, it's all about ownership and also getting paid your value. So there's a lot of people that have contributed to society just with their comments, and that could eventually become super valuable as we move forward. But you want to think about artists as well. Like, how many times have we seen artists, their ideas, even like musical artists or their sounds or different things getting stolen, where now if you hear those things, you can actually have a ledger to go back. Besides, of course, the regular legal copyright, but you can actually have this stored on the internet and it proves it. So I'm going to ask all my mods, one by one, tell me how have y'all been taking your skill set that you've already had and transitioning that into Web3. And anyone else? Hey, Dolly Graham.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Dolly Graham here. I'm a NFT Web3 pioneer, and you can be too. You could join as late as next week, as late as probably next year, and still be considered a pioneer if you get yourself in gear and start logging in, tuning in, subscribe to NFTs tips, and pay attention. You can be a pioneer in this shape-shifting, seismic paradigm that we're into right now.
Oh, I love that, man. Y'all definitely need to follow Dolly Graham because he's telling the truth. It's just super early just to this room, but I want y'all to, I can even start with you, Dolly Graham. Anybody on stage, think about what have you been doing? How has the past, your traits or skill set that you have, how are you taking that into Web3? And it's for people that they don't even know that they can work in this space, which I want to be able to open people's minds and get them to know and think you can actually you could really do a lot and prosper, especially right now as a pioneer, and actually affect, set the culture, set the tone for what other people are going to be doing in the future.
Yeah, this is Dolly Graham again. That's exactly what I'm doing. I mean, and previously, one of the things that I love to do the most is investing. I come from the investing world. Started with cannabis 15 years ago, and then it moved into blue chip stocks and this and that. But yeah, I like to find emerging industries with uh, growth. You know what I mean? With a lot of alpha out there and this and that, and so I come to the NFT space, and I'm an analog investor. So I look at everything as an analog to try to explain it to people, to kids, to adults, whatever it is. And one of the things that I'm doing is I'm kind of looking at this space because I am not a creator necessarily, but not that I can't create. But what I like to do is find people that are creating things that I would create or things that I like to see created into this world, this metaverse. And I collect their projects in hopes of putting it all together in like an ETF type of mindset. You know what I mean? So I'm taking my investing world, mutual fund ETF type situation and trying to melt that into the NFT world for future value later on.
Oh, that's fire. We need to talk. I'm thinking about the same thing, Dolly Graham. Like, that's been on my mind. And it's just taking what you already have been doing. So, for instance, I come back from background of being an artist and a designer. I went to school, went and got my bachelor's certification in UX UI as well as digital art, right? And so for the past decade, I can just speak for me. It's like what they told us was, hey, go to school, you know, get a good job, and your life will be great. And we know that's not always the case. Like I went to school, got a job, it was cool, and then the job left, and then I was sitting there like, wow, well, what do I do with all my skill set? So that basically turned for me. I transferred into becoming an entrepreneur, transitioned into that, and have my own business, been operating and freelancing for a long time. But then what happened when I learned about this is that, okay, we're creating that NFTs and art is starting to rise in value like never before. Like where I had to have millions and millions of followers and I had to been like drawing like continuously with no actual promise that someone would buy. I could now become an NFT artist and offer those same skill sets using the same tools, using Photoshop, Illustrator, whatever, and helping them create art that accurately reflects their community or whatever the NFT project is. And that was huge for me because it's been years that I've been doing design, but getting to the art part, I had to put that more on the back burner because it wasn't seen as valuable. And so if you're an artist, this is definitely your time to start transitioning, opening your mind like this is what you want to get into where you could really express yourself. I think that a lot of people that have been more undervalued for a long time, I'm seeing that that's becoming like things are changing. So skill sets that a lot of people weren't really into, it's changing like because their needs are necessary. So all the people that always like to do 3D art, right? Now you can start making wearables. Now you can start help building these parcels out in these different metaverses. People that have been in development or programming where they might have felt a little bit like, the current jobs that they work on is pretty mundane. You got the opportunity to do something fun. So I know, Will, like you've been into your programmer and developer, like tell me about like how you got started. Like let the people know as well. And then I'm gonna go to Wayne and Taco.
Yeah, so I've been through everything, y'all. When I was in high school, I think my main goal was to go to school for art. So I was really big on drawing and illustration, everything. I went to college for graphic design. I didn't get a scholarship or anything like that. And you know, after being there for a couple of years, I had to talk with my illustration teacher about like, hey, how much money am I going to make when I graduate from here? And yeah, I think I was 2 years in, no scholarship at a major university. And I think she told me I was probably gonna make like $20,000 like a year. And I was like, no, I'm done. Like I quit. I was like, I'm done. I'm done with school. I'll figure something else out. So I left school then. I went through the whole thing doing sales, all of that. But also at the same time, I was a musician. So I just always wanted to be creative and just create. Like that's what I've always been on. About 5 years ago, I actually got into software development. I never thought that that was even a possibility to do as far as building software or building apps or anything like that. So I got into it. I've learned a ton of languages. And I think that just now, in the past year when I first got into Web3, I got introduced to NFTs and it kind of bridged the gap between, oh, I could do something creative and I can use my coding to, build a product that other, really to get my art and everything out there. I could sit and I can do paintings or I could do, graphic design, CD covers or anything like that from my local area. And we all know how that goes too, even when you're dealing with people that from the area that you're in. It's a lot of hate that comes with it. There's a lot of people that might not want to support you. And look where we're at now on Web3, where we have people from all over the world that are willing to support the projects and everything that you do. Because to be honest with you, we're on the cutting edge, like Dolly Graham was saying. Like right now, we're all pioneers in this. So everybody here and everybody out in the world, whether it be on Twitter or everything, they all want to support what we're doing because what we're doing right now is cutting edge. We're ahead of everybody else. So even right now, this is my own project of what I'm doing, but there's no reason why I couldn't take this experience and put it into, another job, what I'm saying, or make a career out of it, or start my own business and helping other businesses and everything get into this space. So even while you guys are sitting here looking at these projects, whether it be NFTs or whether you're just kind of looking in the web through whatever, if you dive into this stuff and if you learn it, you can really clear a path for yourself to be a pioneer in this because I don't think everybody understands. Everybody feels behind, but we're all ahead of 99% of the world, like the entire world. It might seem like you're really behind, but if you put the time in and you learn it, I'm telling you, before you know it, you'll be able to turn this into a business or turn it into something that you can be really profitable and change your life.
I think you hit the nail on the head. Like, and I didn't know you was an artist. See, that's why these grannies turned out to be so freaking fire. I was like,
I'm trying. I'm trying. You know what I mean? But
like, there is no way you don't have design experience as well as these came out.
Oh
I
no,
just knew it.
Like anything, whether it be Photoshop, Illustrator, all of that stuff. I know to use all of those tools. I mean, I come from back when I was like 8 years old. Like I used to get pictures of shoes, you know what I'm saying? Like copy and paste them in Microsoft Paint and then trace them and customize shoes in Microsoft Paint. Like I've always been on some like trying to create things. And I'm just glad that this Web3 stuff came into play because I don't know if there would be another opportunity for me to express myself creatively to the masses.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like how you can literally create something right now, make a Twitter account, make a Discord and everything, and literally start building a community of people that want to support you. You know what I mean? It can just grow organically. And I think that's so dope. I don't think we've seen anything like that ever. You know what I mean? Before, I think MySpace or something like that, you know what I'm saying? But we're still talking about old school internet where you could build a file, make a song, put it online, and people start following you and everything when it was new. So it was really smart to get into this before it gets very, very oversaturated, for sure.
No, and it's true because, we've seen, that's the bad thing that we've seen that's kind of been going on with social media is like, it's now become more about if you got more money, right? You can buy a following. You can really push your ads. And now this is more getting back to the heart of talent, getting back to the heart of like passion and what you really vibe with. You can be a part of the community you actually like. You can get actual followers or y'all, and not just followers, but buyers, like people that will support you. And that's big. I think us as people, like people need to feel like that they're a part of something. Like it helps. I think it's just a part of the human condition. So building a tribe. So I want you to think about maybe there's things in your community. Because I'm gonna tell you, like for me, I'm always looking at, well, what can I do to like basically affect change in my immediate like community? Like for me, it's so important that I'm giving back. I'm doing the ministry that God gave me to do, but I'm helping my community. It's so important that social change happens, that like help the next person. Like that's me personally. So that's how I'm seeing like this opportunity for us to really do something. Like maybe there's a problem that you feel like needs to be solved. You could get together a group of people that have the same mindset as you, really put something together. And it can actually be profitable. Like you can think of it more of like like I said, a better version of a crowdfunding campaign, where people, they don't mind like coming to support you and showing up because y'all actually unite, have the same mindset, same thought. So I think people need to kind of, grasp onto that. Like this is one of the first times in a long time that you could do this, and it can really change lives. Like it really can be something. So I want to pass the mic to Wayne. Like, how did you get started in the space? Like, and what are you doing now? Taking the skills that you have, and like, what are you doing right now in Web3?
Okay, so I got to go back a little. I got to tell about my background. I have a
Hey, you
master's.
sound a little muffled.
I sound muffled. I know why. I'm far away
Or
from
you
the
sound
microphone.
low.
What about now?
Yeah, way better. Go
Okay,
ahead.
so I have a master's degree from New York Theological Seminary. I'm a couple of months away from receiving my doctorate. My doctoral thesis is the Adam Clayton Powell Inheritance Project. I'm an Adam Clayton Powell Fellow. And in the midst of creating this initiative, which was to teach brown, Black people, anybody who's interested actually, in understanding the nuances of commercial real estate, residential real estate, and how to be a participant in creating generational wealth from being able to analyze properties, making sure that the credit is right, and to be able to extract whatever equity you can from a perspective of being able to use that money to invest into other properties. How I grew into this is I wrote a book called The Believer's Comprehensive Guide of Credit Repair, because one of the prerequisites to be able to do what I'm talking about is not only understanding the credit markets, not only understanding fast money or what we call the ability to get money to close deals quicker than the normal process. It includes having an individual or individuals or LLC with the credit necessary to be able to play these moves. I am a proponent and a believer of making wealth off of other people's money. So instead of getting credit so you can buy Louis Vuitton and Gucci, let's get credit and open or purchase some properties that can produce passive income while we really do what we want to do. The reason why I went this route, because if you consider cities like Detroit that has over 30,000 abandoned and dilapidated homes that we can go in and swoop in and purchase these properties based on an initiative that we've created and have our people become owners and not just necessarily renters, but having the ability to create wealth from real estate. If we go back 17, 18, 1600s, we worked the fields. We helped create properties. We built the White House. We established all these things, but we were never in a position to benefit from real estate or the real estate arena. So when I created this initiative, it caused me to investigate credit to know what we can and can't do for people that have substandard credit and getting them to where they need to be. And that spawned into the credit repair book because my niece was like, hey, you got like 5 American Expresses. You should be teaching this. And I'm like, nah, I really don't want to teach you. She's like, I'm telling you, you got all this wisdom and you're not doing anything with it from the credit perspective. So I wrote the book to help people understand what they can and can't do. And then that transitioned into, why don't we use crypto? My friend Chris, my partner, he's not listening right now, to get the resources that we need since we're on the ground floor. Listen, the crypto NFT space, Web3 space is like the wild, wild west. Whatever you establish, depending on how creative you are, you can establish initiatives or blockchain technology or systems or even protocols to do things, and these things can be established for generations, and these things can produce generational wealth. See, I come from a place where I had eBay stores. I had 3 eBay stores doing $18,000 a month each. And then one day PayPal was like, yo, we can't do transactions anymore. I was flabbergasted. And I made a vow to myself that I'm no longer going to be in industries where I don't have a percentage of control to control my own destiny. Crypto is the only, keep in mind, I come from real estate, commercial real estate. I'm a serial entrepreneur. And this is the first vehicle that I have ever seen that anyone, depending on timing, can take a nominal amount of money and create life-changing opportunities. Not that it happens overnight always, but there's strategies that you can employ. There are plans that you can make. There are parameters that you can set by which you operate in, where you systematically, almost daily, if not hourly, depending on how savvy you are, produce revenue. And so my goal is to take this revenue that I'm going to create and to teach people how to do exactly what I've done. Listen, we need teachers in our community. It ain't just good that all of us get rich and ride around in Lambos and Ferraris and we go through the hood and people are not having the opportunity to make it. Now, this is not for everybody because we know that everybody's not going to take the chance. But for those who are willing to see the value in what we're doing, let's teach them so that we can improve our communities. We can have kids going to school. We can have community centers. We can provide Wi-Fi. We have individuals that are hard on their luck, down, out, needing money, and we can do these things. We can pay rents. We can invest in stores in our community instead of all the money taking wings and flying away, because the people that come and sell in our community don't live in our communities. So we have the ability, I believe that crypto is a space where we have the ability to do all this. At some point, I'm gonna have my own coin. And my coin and my initiative is to create the opportunity for everybody to pull themselves up. And that's what I want to do. And so this is how I've used where I've come from, my own experiences. Keep in mind, I did 6 years in the feds, and I didn't allow that to stop me. It just made me prove people wrong. Tell me I can't do something. That is the impetus I need to show you that I can. I'm not saying it's necessarily the right thing, but that is the fuel that I've used my whole life to get me to where I am now. And now I'm in a position and I have an audience. There are people that are seeking my wisdom, my revelation, my understanding, and some of the spiritual gifts that I have. This gives me the opportunity to help as many people that are interested in transitioning into an opportunity that not only can change your life, but change the life of your children and grandchildren. Proverbs is a scripture in Proverbs that said, blessed is the man that leaves an inheritance for their grandkids. I'm trying to teach people how to leave that inheritance so we can do some great things in our community. I yield my mic.
Wow.
Ooh, fire, man. You heard that? Taco, I was like, dang.
Man, Wayne, wow. And it's crazy because I was just explaining to my friend right before I tell y'all how I got into this space. Literally up until 7:29, I was on the phone with my friend. I invited him to the room, and every Thursday I invite him to the room, and he's telling me that he would rather go pay for a course instead of coming in here to learn what we're talking about every Thursday. And I'm saying, bro, we are literally giving away the exact same information that people are willing to make you pay for. But you like
And look, I'm gonna tell you this: you can't go Google this. You can't go just Google all this information. It's like a lot of this comes from straight experience because a lot of us are doing it presently. Like,
can I say one more thing?
They made that course, by the time they put that course out, the information is already halfway outdated with the way things are changing so rapidly. That's why it's so important y'all be here on a consistent basis and come ask questions. I definitely don't want to not get to our lovely other speakers on stage. Audra, Farah, Expire, appreciate you being here. We're going to get to you right after Taco.
Kamiyah, can I just add one more thing?
Yeah.
Here's the goal. Here's the goal. I am a philanthropic person at heart. And sometimes I have to stop myself from giving away wisdom that can be monetized. But I'm not here to monetize wisdom. Here's why. Everything that I've learned, no one taught me. I had to go out and find this information myself. Number one, from a African-American male perspective, I had no mentors. I had to make mistakes, learn from my mistakes, understand the value of freedom, understand the value of what is in my head. And so I've made the mistakes. From that perspective, I've made the mistakes in the crypto NFTs scene as well. So if I can help one person not have to go through what I've gone through, then I've done my job. The goal is not to help one person, but to help as many as possible. Because in our communities, we don't have nobody showing us the ropes. And so if I can help 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if I can write a blog and teach you what I've learned, help you to jump over the pitfalls, help you to analyze and recognize coins and look for use cases and recognize patterns that are dangerous. If I can help you do that, then I've done my job, because I'm going to make my money regardless, because I believe in sowing and reaping. And every seed that I'm planting tonight, that's a Lamborghini. No, that's a joke. That was a joke. That was a joke. But every seed that I'm planting tonight, there's a harvest that's going to come my way. Those are just spiritual principles that, whether you believe them or not, that's just the way it is. But my goal and our goal here in this room, listen, we ain't looking for followers. My phone, it's so bad, I got 2 phones, and now I had to get a community number because I couldn't text everybody back. So the goal is to give the information to help anyone that has an ear to hear and to see the value in what we're talking about, take advantage of the mistakes and the successes that we've made in an arena. We don't have to recreate anything. We're in it early enough that we can benefit and establish protocols and ideas. I just got an idea while I was talking about this. I'm going to tell Kamiyah about it in a minute, but we're in so early. We got to see the vision. It ain't for everybody, but for those of us who have the eyes to see, come on, let's go get paid.
Hey, y'all, and we're going to let Taco go because he's 100% right. Like, this is your time to get in. So if you have still, and I know there might be some people in the audience too that like, man, I still don't even know how to use crypto. I don't even understand the concept of NFTs or Metaverse. Come raise your hand. We don't mind breaking that down for you because that's what we do here. But we also, part of it is like trying to encourage you to effectively feel, start doing something with the knowledge. Like, it is really easy, and it's just getting started and make your mind up. Like, I'm currently working on projects. Will has his own project. Wayne and I are doing stuff, right? And then Taco is what all of us are doing things, and we end up working a lot together, but you could easily be part of that too. And so I'm going to do a quick reset real quick. This is the Welcome to NFTs Crypto in the Metaverse Room. Do us a favor. Click the greenhouse if you haven't. Follow NFTs.tips, the best club here on Clubhouse. Over 51K members. Helping you understand the world of NFTs, Web3, crypto, the whole 9. I'm your host, Kamiyah, like a papaya. I'm joined by Taco, Wayne, Will, Dolly Graham, some of the best and brightest minds here in the space. And we're definitely I want you all to do us a favor. Ping some people in the room. You know you got somebody that you know personally that they don't understand this. And it's statistically proven that only, 1% of society even knows is trading crypto. And so you can cut that in half talking about who actually trade NFTs. It's a very small space. A lot of people that you meet, that they are actually, like, we end up bumping to each other in a lot of different spaces. I'm one of my friends is at East Denver right now, and he's running into all my other friends. And that's how small the space is. But understand that the people that's here on the stage, that's talking to you right now, we're the ones setting the pace, creating the culture, and you have the opportunity to do the same. I'm going to pass the mic to Taco, and then I want to open up the floor for Audra. Just going to go in order, and then we're just going to, see where everything leads.
Hey, Kamiyah, thanks for having me. So I won't be too long because we're here for you guys. We're not here for me, or any of the other moderators. We're here to answer your questions and to be, as helpful as possible, as Wayne echoed, right? So I think it's important for me transitioning into this space. I had a similar a story to, most of the moderators on stage. For me, I interview rappers and create content in the real world, right? So I've been deciding what can I do to go through and further enhance, right? So when Kamiyah talks about being a servant in your community, how are you directly giving back to your community? I'm taking all of the insights that I hear here on Clubhouse, on Instagram, from my mentors, from research that I conduct on my own, from school, wherever I'm getting new value from, and I take that information and I'm thinking, right, what do people pay attention to, for majority of their time? It's probably their music or an artist or somebody that they look up to, right? So I'm gonna go through and communicate this same kind of information over into rappers, right? And so that now the audience is more engaged into something that they probably weren't entertained with on their own, but now that the rapper is talking about, it's like, oh, so he thinks this is cool. Let me go ahead and figure out what coins are good too. And that's how we have meme coins like Dogecoin and Shiba coin, right? That's what most people know about when you tell them about crypto, and those aren't even true utility coins, right? So I decided, what can I do to help people in this same aspect? I'm a brand strategist. I'm a content creator, creative by nature. And so I'm working on a digital NFT project that is in the works. And as I go through and I learn more and more about the space, it's a little bit more tedious. And digital just means that in some aspects, the project is, you can touch it in real life. It's a physical asset. And then there's the digital asset, which is the NFT. But I plan to have one of the biggest utility-based projects in NFT existence, because I think that it's becoming pretty redundant with a lot of these other projects and what they're offering as far as value. And I really am on the same spectrum as Wayne with trying to uplift my community, because I know how much information has been held back from us, right? And so now that we have the opportunity to utilize information in a way that can change our entire lives, why wouldn't I want to be a part of that if that's something that I've been doing up until this point? So when I saw that now, I wanted to, so my digital project is going to be used to, fund scholarships, right? That's one of the biggest utilities that I plan to include. And I've already been working on that before I transition into space. The NFT space just introduced me to how I can have these redeemable codes and, discount codes that I can make sure I can track and I can monitor who gets one based off of who's holding an NFT, right? And so I just really wanted to focus on that for as long as possible. When I found out the possibility through smart contracts, I said, wow, let me go ahead and get on it. So right now we're still in the build up stages, but it will be probably out to you before the end of the year. Just trying to get the proper pieces together and learning this, because like we said, we're no experts. We're still here in the pioneer space. And so if I have the opportunity to be the first person to do something, I'm going to do it great so that I'm memorable for that. So thanks for being here. Thanks for having me. Let's get to these questions.
And real quick, if anybody wants to come to the stage, just know that you are not going to be allowed up if you don't have your bio filled out with information in there, because we're not trying to have trolls trolling up here. And don't come up here trying to sell nothing tonight either. There's time for that on other days, but this is not that night. This is education 101. If you use a big word, you better explain it.
Ooh, thank you, Dolly Graham. Hey, I'm just so glad you could come back and be with us this week. What's going on, my friend?
Hey, Kamiyah. Hey, Taco. Hey, Wayne. Hey, Will. Hey, Dolly Graham. Hey, everyone in the room. Thanks for, again, moderating and just being here and being a safe space. I want to encourage anybody in the room who hasn't raised their hand, who has questions, to just go ahead and do that. If you're not familiar with NFTs, if you're not familiar with the crypto community as a whole, it's one of the best communities in terms of people just wanting to give people sort of a hand up in terms of information. We all came into this space at some point where we had no idea what was going on. We had no idea how to use a wallet. We had no idea how to buy crypto. So I would just encourage you, be brave, raise your hand. You're not going to ask a dumb question. If you have the question, probably somebody else in the room has the question as well. So just want to encourage everyone in the room to do that. So thanks for having me back. Like Kamiyah, I have my degree in visual communications, graphic design. Became a serial entrepreneur following that. And I've just been digging in deeper in terms of NFT study and research. Y'all be proud of me. I pulled the trigger this week, bought my first NFT.
Hey.
So it's very exciting. I've been in Discord rooms all week and just listening and learning and engaging with communities and just kind of like figuring out the lay of the land. And it's been really exciting. And like a lot of you on the stage, I want to try to figure out how I can use this to be a benefit to my community and the world around me. And so two of those things coming up are I just became a board member of Charleston Women in Tech. We have a group of about 3,000 women in the Charleston community who are anywhere from like just figuring out what tech is, trying to decide if they want to learn to code or study it, to like VP level at some higher up companies. And so one of the things that's come up is, like how do we raise money? We throw these programs called Code On. So we go into underprivileged neighborhoods and we teach coding classes right in the neighborhood. So we've taught coding classes in laundromats, and just like we don't want transportation to be an issue, we don't want money to be an issue. And so figuring out how we can raise funds for that. And then also have a really good friend who's on the board of an international program that helps endangered and vulnerable animals across the world. And just thinking like, man, we could do fundraisers for them as well. And so my brain is spinning, that entrepreneurial part of my brain is spinning. And so just trying to learn as much as possible. So just to kick off sort of the question portion, there's been some talk just like in rooms and with some launches this past couple of weeks of either projects that have been hacked, had their Discord hacked. For those in the room who aren't familiar, Discord is an application where a lot of communities sort of set up their community and give you the opportunity to kind of like meet the creators, ask questions, read, the roadmap and their plan for the project, that type of thing. And I know there were some larger projects that got hacked this week, and people's wallets, got affected. And so I was wondering if the folks on stage could address just security. Not so much maybe if you're going on to like OpenSea or Magic Eden, which are two of the larger exchanges that you
meant a project coming from some other kind of creator. I think that in this space right now, especially because we're so new to it, I think that in some certain circumstances, you have to expect a loss at some point, right? Because you might do all of your research and everything on this NFT project and everything looks great and everything. And that person can still just say, oh, forget it, like Taco said, and rug you and dip off with your money, right? And you take that loss. I think, in my opinion, I think that's probably best case scenario as far as taking a loss. Like you buy an NFT for a couple $100 or something, and then they dip off with your money. It's like, all right, cool, I took that loss, right? I over trusted. So my one thing is, hey, even me, it's like, yo, do your research and don't put anything past anybody. You know what I'm saying? Anybody can play your friend like in real life, right? And they could do the same thing through Web3. In actuality, it's probably a little bit easier because a lot of people won't even show their face or tell you who they really are, right? I think I said this before. Like if you wouldn't loan somebody, you know what I'm saying? What kind of person are you, right? I'm not really trusting of a lot of people. So I might not loan one of my friends something because I know they won't give it back, right? Don't be so trusting to these random people that are online thinking that they're just going to fall through with everything they say just because they said it. Now, on top of that, too, like I said, worst case scenario, you might lose something as far as a couple $100 on NFT. But even more importantly than that is they were talking about watching where your wallet connects and everything, right? They're very similar to at your job right now, Web2, you get an email from somebody pretending to be somebody else because they hacked into the email. You click on something, they hack, and you know what I'm saying? They can get into your whole network, et cetera, right? Social engineering, pretending to be somebody else or trying to sell you on something so they can gain access. That's a Web3 thing also. So somebody, you could click on something where you think that you're minting, if you're inexperienced, and you might actually be signing something on a contract, you know what I'm saying? Like a digital contract on the blockchain, where you're giving permission for somebody to take your funds. So my thing is like me, like right now, I've transferred a lot of my funds to a separate wallet that, you know, I have multiple wallets. So, hey, maybe you keep whatever funds that you want to use for minting in that one wallet. So if you lose that, hey, cool. Like I said, worst case or best case scenario, okay, you got me, right? You got my couple $100 right there, but you're not getting access to all of the rest of my other funds. You know what I'm saying? Where I signed something accidentally and gave you the rights to all of that. Now you took me for everything that I have. So it's just about being smart. You know what I mean? You're not going to give somebody a blank check in real life. You know, be precautious and don't do that here also. Because I will tell you, realistically, if they got a slick mouth or a slick typer or whatever you want to call it, because we're all on the internet, right? Somebody could literally get over on you and get you to sign something and sign over all of their funds in your wallet. You know what I mean? So just everybody just be careful and, you know, use your brain, I would say.
I got goosebumps, man. Woo.
And I'm saying because I've been through it. Like I've gotten over it. Whether it be me trying to be like, oh, somebody wants to help out in my Discord and help mod. Cool. You know what I'm saying? This is before now my community and everything is like organic. So people that are like actual supporters, like, hey, I just want to help out with the community. If you want to make me a mod, cool, right? But back when I was just gaining traction and it was maybe a little bit too much for me to manage, I was like, you know what, let me reach out to these people because I see they're modding in other Discords, like just helping out, making sure everything is good. Nobody comes in and raids it and everything, right? Okay, cool. I'll pay you X amount of dollars per week. Sounds good, right? Okay, and everybody wants to deal in crypto. So what happens? You send somebody some money, they just dip out. They block you on Discord. They ban you from the servers that they sent to you to show you, you know, their work and how they are mods there. You know what I'm saying? That's a real thing. I think I've probably gotten screwed over about probably 10 times, if not more, you know, just for me being in this space for about 6 months. The thing for me is like, okay, cool. I always was precautious. Like, hey, if I take a loss on this right here, then that's fine. You know, I'm not losing the whole kingdom by making a stupid mistake. You know what I mean? So everybody just, like I said, just be precautious of that because people are wild, man. People will try and get over on you, just like real life, though. No different.
It's true. I want to say real quick, I'm going to pass it to Braxton, because I know that they back channel me to get, you know, kind of, so we can get more questions in the queue, as well as for MetaMetch and Chris, thanks so much for your patience. But to that effect, like what I was just asking about Discord, y'all have to understand Discord wasn't made for this. So we use the tools that we have now to supplement, you know, what has yet to be created. And one of the things about security and what you need to do, I tell you, one of the best things you can do is what you're doing right now. It's like listen in, and before you buy a project, really consider who's a part of the project. Know the founders, like see how active they are in their own community. Listen to them. they should be, if you can't really get an idea that they're engaged in what they're doing, it should be a red flag to you that they might not be as authentic as they said they are. And I always say, man, go with your gut. I'm not gonna lie to you. If it sounds too good, if it looks too good, I'm not in a rush to lose. Like for me, I try to really fight FOMO. Like you really want to learn how to fight FOMO here because it really is very common. Like people really, and FOMO, people that don't know, is fear of missing out. Like
um,
from us getting an account on a centralized exchange, and for when you become intermediate and advanced as far as getting crypto wallets and buying coins from decentralized exchanges. What we're going to do is we're going to systematically, through these blogs, explain the process. So for anybody who's in that situation and looking for a safe place, keep in mind, I'm just going to give you information and share with you how I did it. I'm not going to give any financial advice. I may give you some of the coins that I'm invested in, but I'm just going to show you how to become involved in the space. So if you go to WayneTRichards.com and you go to the Wayne's crypto journey, let me see if I have it here, and you follow that, I'm going to teach you everything that I learned from being involved for more than a year. And keep in mind, like I said before, we are in the infancy, on the ground floor, crypto, NFTs, Metaverse, and all of these things that are futuristic. We don't want you to be overwhelmed. So for those of us who've already traversed these areas and have made the mistakes, we want to show you, as giving back, how you can also endeavor to do the things that we're doing, and at some point become an expert and be in this room with us doing what we're doing on the platform as well. So this is just to help you to understand that there is a process, there is strategy that you can employ. And for those of us who have lived, listen, I lived in Washington, D.C. For a couple of months, and I paid all my bills from crypto. And I lived across the street from the National Stadium. So, it wasn't like a cheap ride. So I'm telling you, there is a viability in the space. This is the only platform that I know right now. Keep in mind, I've done real estate, commercial, and residential, where for nominal fees, nominal amounts of money, depending on timing, you can make life-changing money. So if you want to follow the blog and get information, ask questions, even input, because I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm an expert and I know everything, because surely that's not the truth. But I'm willing to help people that know less than me. And as we travel together, learn together, let's put ourselves in positions to make a bunch of money. That's the goal. And I yield my mic.
No, absolutely. Look, I just posted my link. It's a small collection, but for me, I love retro futurism. We're going to be having the Black Metafest. That's going to be on next week. I actually got to jump right off this meeting to go into the planning committee room as well if they're still open. But that's some of the art that I'm going to be creating. And 50% of the proceeds, once we can put it in the mansion, because we're going